Hey guys, thogden here, and welcome back to a brand new video. Now today, we're going to be going for our Premier League predictions for Game Week 7. And this week, we've got a very special guest. He's a professional footballer. He plays in the 4th tier. It is a Northampton professional, Scott Pollock.
Wow, that is amazing. That is obscure but amazing. Welcome, Scotty.
Hi Theo and Fogdad. It's an absolute pleasure to be invited on to the Premier League prediction series. I've been enjoying it myself watching, although I've seen that the guests are a little bit down at the moment. So I'm going to try and change that. I'm going to aim for about 8 or 9 points and I'll be happy with that. So yeah, let's get straight into it.
Ex-United, now cutting it at Northampton. I'm looking forward to seeing how he can predict his football. If it is as good as how he plays it, then we're in for a bit of a stinker here.
I tell you what a lovely shirt, Theo. You got to see Messi, I got to see Kieran Lee.
And last night, Ronaldo scored the winner for Man United, and I was watching that live, and tell you what, I was gutted. I have to admit, the second best footballer in the world. That is why he's there.
But last week, there were some strange results in the Premier League. Thogden, you got 4 points, not too bad. Our amazing guest, Ellis Away Days, 5 points, better than last time. And what can I say, Theo? Form is temporary, class is permanent. I'm taking both these trophies right now. Hey, no, Thogdad, no party.
But you haven't even said how many points you got.
No, Thogdad, no party. 13 points!
Oh my god. Well, I think you were in my face.
Points.
You were in my face, and you hadn't even said how many points you got.
Parties.
It's like, what are you doing, mate?
He's by far the greatest
He's
predictor the world has ever seen.
Just get out. Get out. Go on.
Thogden.
Get out.
38 points to the guest, 39 to this mug, and 52 points to Thogdad. It's over. First of all, 15,000 likes, please.
Oh, yeah. That would be nice. You know, make me feel better, because he's running away with it this week.
Manchester United against Everton. It's 4th versus 5th. It's the City of Manchester against the City of Liverpool. Two teams with exactly the same points. But Theo, what about that Bruno penalty miss last week?
Yeah, it wasn't great. I think Bruno's bounced back in the Champions League yesterday. He looked excellent. He bagged an assist. And he's, getting involved in games. I mean, you're not always going to score your penalties. He's usually got a very good record.
Theo, give the penalties to the GOAT, Cristiano Ronaldo, best player in the world. But I'll tell you what, Manchester United have got a problem. It's called Old Trafford, Theo, because their last 8 defeats in the league were all at Old Trafford. They're brilliant away.
They are.
What's the problem?
They're not always brilliant away. Look at the Wolves game. I know they won that, but just lately, they've not been playing great football, haven't they? I know they secured the win against Villarreal last minute, Ronaldo, and that was only because they've got Ronaldo. That wasn't because of playing good football. They're kind of relying on the likes of Bruno and these big hitters to do it themselves.
Absolutely, I do agree. Man United, they're up there, but they're not playing great football. But what about Everton, Theo? Job done against Norwich. I think that was avoiding a banana skin.
Yeah, I thought Norwich were going to come away with a draw, but they really are very bad.
But you know what? Everton do not perform well at Old Trafford, and for that reason, I'm going for 2-1 to Man United.
Really? You don't even think the whole ex-Liverpool manager coming to Old Trafford? If Benitez wins this game, I'm not saying he will, but if he did, he'd be the first manager to do it away from home at Old Trafford with 3 different clubs. That is an unbelievable statistic. So I'm not writing off Everton, but I do agree with you. I think United will win this game. I think a 2-1 is likely. I'm going to say 2-0 because I can't see Townsend scoring. If he does it now, I'm going to get clipped.
Over to you, Scotty.
All right, so game 1, Man United at home to Everton. Not really sure on this one, to be fair, because Man U coming off the back of that loss at home to Aston Villa, and Everton starting the season strong last week with the 2-0 against Norwich. There's always goals in this fixtures from previous. I think Man U might have enough this time, so I'm going to go with a 2-1 United win.
Burnley against Norwich City, 19th against 20th. This is a relegation tussle between two teams who've got 2 points between them all season. But Burnley, what a game against Leicester. And what a goal from Cornet, Theo, eh?
I tell you what, he's a really solid player. He's played 2 games, one in the Cup, one in the Prem, got a goal in one, assist in the other. And I think he's someone that adds something different to Burnley, a bit of pace and finish, and it's what they need. It's a shame he's not playing in this game.
It is, Theo. He is injured, but Burnley, 9 league games without a win. That is pretty tragic. They've got to get something from this game, haven't they?
They do. It's now or never for Burnley. They're both bottom of the league. Norwich look finished. They look like they're already relegated. Farker, in his interviews nowadays...
He just swore?
No, the manager of Norwich Football Club, He looks kind of... Going back to my point, in his interviews, he looks gutted. He looks like he's already relegated. The winless run stops here for Sean Dyche. 1-0.
Wow, that is an enormous shout. But Theo, Norwich have been terrible this season. 6 defeats in a row. And the last 6 times they went to Turf Moor, they lost, Theo. But it's time for a Thogdad fact. The the last 43 times this game has happened, i.e. Burnley versus Norwich, there has never been a 0-0 draw. And for that reason, I'm going Burnley 1, Norwich 0. Burnley are going to win this one.
I thought you were going to go 0-0 for a second.
No, I'm not.
Right, over to Scotty P. Will it be a triple of 1-0s to Burnley?
Right, Burnley, Norwich next. Just doesn't scream of goals at all. I still don't think Norwich are going to get a point at the moment, so I'm going to go 1-0 Burnley, Chris Wood with the winner.
And now for Chelsea against Southampton, 3rd against 16th. Now these are two teams who lost 1-0 last week, aren't they, Theo? Chelsea, of course, lost to Man City, then they lost to Juventus. Surely not 3 losses in a row, Theo.
Well, I tweeted, in terms of the City game, I remember tweeting saying, City will not lose this game. And everybody, all the Chelsea fans were getting on to me on Twitter. It was getting rounds on there. And even I predicted a draw in that game. And for Chelsea fans, that was a bit gutting after the run. But they didn't win.
Yes.
They lost. And it was a great finish from Gabriel Jesus. But Chelsea looked out of it. And that's probably partly why they also lost to Juve. I know they've got an injury crisis. N'Golo Kante's out. Mason Mount, Reece James, Pooley. They've got to find something in this game. They have to turn it around, don't they?
Well, the thing is about this game, Theo, Chelsea against Southampton, the last 5 times, Chelsea have only won 1 time.
Wow.
There's been 3 draws, so don't expect this to be 4-0, 5-0, because Southampton this season, they've only conceded 7 goals. They are the draw specialists of the league.
Dad, nothing against the Saints, but I hope it's 4-0, 5-0, because I'm probably going to bring in quite a few Chelsea players when I use my wild card this week on Fantasy Premier League, and I want Lukaku to go out there and bag me a hat-trick.
But be careful, Alonso might not play, so there's going to be some Tuchel roulette. But you know what? Chelsea are going to win this, surely.
I'm going to go 2-0.
And I'm just going to agree with you. Over to you, Scott.
Okay, so Chelsea versus Southampton next. Chelsea obviously losing last week, getting outplayed by Man City. Southampton losing to Wolves, and they haven't scored in their last 3. So I see this only going one way. Chelsea are going to win it. It's not going to be a hammering. Southampton looked okay defensively, so I'm going to go to 2-0 Chelsea win and Lukaku to get a brace.
Leeds United against Watford, it's 18th against 12th, and 2 things worry me about Leeds, Theo. Number 1, they're conceding a lot of goals, 14 goals this season, only Norwich are worse. And the second thing is the disciplinary record, 14 yellow cards, 1 red card, it's the worst in the league. It's like Leeds of the 1970s all over again.
Even Watford have won a Prem game this season, and the Leeds run continues. Bamford is still out, but they've got to find it from somewhere. Dad, let's step out of this box for a second. This is Watford at home at Ellen Road in the Premier League. It's a must-win for the Leeds boys.
It is, absolutely, but Watford have got 4 points in 2 games. They're having a good season. I tell you what, Ben Foster, what a magnificent goalkeeper he is, as well as a great YouTuber. Ismail Assar scored again. This is going to be a really tough game for Leeds.
I do think this is going to fall Leeds' way. They can't go ahead. Bielsa will find a way. They've relied on Rafinha to turn up, even through his little injury problems that he's meant to have had. No, he's performing, and I think he'll score again. And you know what? I think Leeds will win this 2-1.
Absolutely, Theo. I'm just going to agree with you. Rafinha, he scored and he hit the post. He will step up. He will get Fantasy Premier League points.
We agree. Let's go over to Scotty P.
Okay, next game, Leeds at home to Watford. Leeds obviously still haven't got their first win of the season. Watford have been okay recently. Potentially there's Bamford out, there's Rafinha out. So everything's saying Watford are going to get a win here. But for some reason, I think Leeds are going to nick it at the last minute. They're going to win 2-1. And they're going to get their first win of the season.
Wolverhampton Wanderers in 14th against Newcastle United in 17th. Wolves, I can't work them out. They've won 2 of the last 3, but they've only scored 3 goals in 9 hours of football. But thank goodness, Raul Jimenez has got his goal. First goal in about a calendar year, Theo.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. It was, a long time waiting. And then you look at Newcastle, and it's all about ASM lately, isn't it? 5 goal involvements from Newcastle's 7 goals this season, and you've got to think that's very reliant on one footballer, isn't it?
It is, Theo, and the problem with Newcastle, once again, it's like Leeds, they've conceded 14, only Norwich have done worse. But, Theo, they like going to Molineux the last 7 times, 2 wins and 5 draws.
I'm going to sit on the fence and go for 1-1. The Newcastle winless run will continue because Wolves, they got a win last week. They're looking to bounce on with that. They're at home. So I'm going to sit on the fence 1-1, goals from Jimenez and Joe Linton.
Jeremy Beadle, where are you?
Hey,
I'm gonna.
No, hold on. When it happens, Dog Dad, you won't be laughing.
I bet you £100 that he doesn't score.
I bet you £100. Yeah.
Oh, you're not taking that bet.
£100.
Oh, by the way, you owe me £200. But I reckon this is going to be 1-0 to Wolves. And what do you think, Scotty?
So Wolves, Newcastle. Wolves obviously winning last week against Southampton 1-0, and Newcastle with another 1-1 against Watford. St Maximin's their only hope. I've added into my fantasy team, so I'm hoping he gets a goal in this. Wolves are yet to score at home, But I do think with that win last week, they're going to get a goal at home, but Newcastle are going to hold on as well. So it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
Brighton and Hove Albion against Arsenal. It's 6th against 10th. And Brighton, Theo, what an amazing start to the season. They are level on points with Chelsea, Man City and Man United. And if they'd beaten Crystal Palace, they would have been top of the league.
And they're 4 points ahead of Arsenal. This game has history. We all know what happened between Neil Maupay and the Arsenal boys. The whole situation with Leno. Obviously, Arsenal have now got a new number one who seems to be keeping clean sheets and bringing a new set of positivity to that Arsenal squad in Ramsdale. But how do you reckon this game's going to go down? Will it be another fiery encounter?
Well, it could well be. All I'll say, Brighton 1, Crystal Palace 1 in the M23 derby. Sorry for calling it that. Thog Uncle Stuart won 350 quid on a bet on that result.
Fair play.
Thanks to Thog Dad.
You know what? I'm going to say Arsenal. I watched them live against Spurs.
Yeah, you did. How was that?
Brilliant. The atmosphere was class. I've been a big hater of the Emirates in terms of atmosphere. But where I sat, I think it's clock end lower. Mate, those fans are brilliant. That is the future of Arsenal. If they should turn it into a bit of a, not like an ultra section, but I went to PSG.
Yeah.
And no Prem club really has fans like that. Arsenal on the pitch were brilliant. Smith Rowe, Saka, Aubameyang, they're all on fire. If they keep up this form, they won't even have to worry about drawing or losing to Brighton, because on their day, they play some serious liquid football. Arsenal are back. I'm backing them. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win. But maybe it'll be 2. It could be more.
Wow, what a day to be an Arsenal fan. They win the North London derby and they leapfrog Tottenham Hotspur. But you know what? This is a tricky game. And I reckon it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I think Arsenal got more in the tank. But let's go over to Scotty P. Who does he back?
So Brighton versus Arsenal next. Obviously, Brighton starting the season really well. Arsenal not as much, but the last 3 games they have won all 3. So I think this is going to be a heated game. I think there's going to be goals. So I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw.
Crystal Palace in 15th against Leicester City in 13th. These are 2 teams who'll be very disappointed with their league positions. But Palace, they were moments away from beating Brighton and jumping up the league, weren't they, Theo?
Would have been perfect for them. They needed those points and it didn't happen. Maupay added time will equalise it. It's got to hurt, doesn't it?
It really does. But Leicester City, Jamie Vardy scored 2 excellent goals and then he got a 3rd one in his own net to start the game off. I mean, I think it's the first time he scored an own goal for Leicester.
Really?
Yeah.
And he did it on a day he bagged a hat-trick. Well, on the score sheet, at least. Why are they not getting the same amount of points as they did last season?
Well, they're conceding a lot of goals. I mean, I think they'll click into gear at some point. But again, this is a tricky game. And once again, I'm saying 1-1.
I'm saying 1-1 too. And that's because I can't back Leicester like I did last season. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact they're playing European nights against difficult opposition. The fitness and the squad rotation to handle that in the Premier League. I don't know. Maybe I'm also just chatting pure waffle.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point here. But we're getting nothing from Maddison and Barnes this season.
Barnes in Europe, but not in the Prem.
Yeah, I know.
Maddison, I don't know what's going on. I know he's had a kid recently. And I know, that for your family, you've really got to focus on that. But Thog Dad, when you had me, could you focus on your job?
Oh, goodness, you've got me there.
Yeah, I got you there.
You've got me
I'm
there.
serious. Did it affect you?
It's very rare that I'm speechless. It's life-changing when your kid is born. So I take the point you're making, Theo.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's a big question. Anyway.
You totally threw me with that.
I know, that's good. We both said 1-1. Scotty P, what do you reckon, fella?
So Crystal Palace at home to my team, Leicester. Obviously, we haven't started the season well at all. Trying to find the best formation, the best players. Don't know our style yet. I think it will come, and I think this is going to be one of the games that it turns. So I think we're going to win 2-1. Jamie Vardy getting a goal and Tielemans as well. So yeah, I'm going to go with a 2-1 Leicester win.
Tottenham Hotspur against Aston Villa. It's 11th against 8th. And let's talk about Harry Kane, Theo, because I was looking at his stats. No goals, no assists. His XG is low. He's not getting into the opposition box very much. He's not shooting as much. One of the worst starts to a season he's ever had.
Maybe it's time to bring him in fantasy. No, call me a madman.
No.
But Villa at home,
yeah,
he's done it before. We've been to a game similar to this where he's gone out there and just changed the season. If they have an easy run of games, he will start to bag, won't he?
Theo, that idea is so stupid that it's brilliant. Yeah. I think he might start bagging right now. Now, Aston Villa have won 2 on the bounce after a shaky start. Very hard to call this.
They were brilliant against United. A great block, They didn't let Man United have too many opportunities. They kind of invited pressure. But when they had that one opportunity to score, Courtney House, who'd come in because of a suspension in the defence, he smashed it. I thought he was brilliant. Can they do it again? I'm not too sure. I think Spurs really need the points because they've shown that they can't really compete with the other London clubs at their level recently.
Yeah.
And now's an opportunity to pick up a big 3 points for Nuno. I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs.
Absolutely, Theo. And I'm just going to agree with you, but I've got a feeling I'm going to be wrong because Villa can win this game.
Yeah, they can. I mean, they've proven it, haven't they?
Absolutely. Scotty, what do you think?
So Spurs at home to Aston Villa. Spurs obviously losing their last 3. Villa coming off the back of that 1-0 win against United. Everything suggests Villa should win this one, but for some reason, I think Nuno's going to get another 1-0 win. I think them players will be fired up for this one. He'll get that team going. And I think Kane is going to get his first goal of the season. And they're going to win 1-0.
West Ham United against Brentford, 7th versus 9th. It's a London derby between two teams who've only lost once this season. West Ham, a very good away win at Leeds. Antonio, bag me some more points for FPL, Theo.
Yeah, but one thing you have to watch out for, if he plays tonight, well, you guys will know,
Yeah.
but they're playing against Rapid Vienna in Europe. Antonio will play a big role in that game. Will he be fit for the weekend?
Well, I certainly hope so because he's in my FPL team. But you know what? Brentford only conceded 5 goals this season, 3 of them against Liverpool. But what an incredible game. What spirit from Brentford to come back against Liverpool.
I thought it was excellent. Every time they conceded, they bounced back with a goal. I know Curtis Jones stopped the idea of a win. It's the way Brentford's manager has implemented a system where he's put confidence into their players that whoever they face, they can meet them at the level of quality, at their game.
Theo, Brentford will be mid-table. Somebody clip that and send it to Mark Goldbridge because it's going to cost him 600 quid.
Yeah, you and Paul Ince put a bet on and saying, if he goes down, then, he's going to have to pay all that money. If he stays up, then you owe them a lot.
Absolutely, but never mind. It's all good fun. It's all for charity. But you know what, Theo? I'm just going to go with home advantage. I think this will be a great game, but I'm going to go West Ham 1, Brentford 0.
You don't think that Brentford will score?
I think it could be anything, but I think West Ham... The only problem is, like you've said, they
fit.
could be tired.
No, yeah, and the Brentford boys will be fit. They don't have to travel much. It's a London game. They'll be fired up because when Ben Rama went to West Ham, they want to get some revenge, don't they, So maybe the Bees will go out there and get a draw or beat them. It wouldn't surprise me. But having said all that, I have backed West Ham to win 2-0. I think David Moyes, he knows what he's doing.
But Scott, you've played at the highest level. What's going to happen here, mate?
So West Ham at home to Brentford. West Ham obviously coming off the back of that last-minute win against Leeds. And Brentford shocking everyone with that 3-3 draw against Liverpool. I'm hoping for another Antonio goal. Had him as a captain last week in my fantasy team. So either him or Ben Rama to get a goal. But I think Brentford will also get a goal, so I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw.
And we've saved the best till last. It's Liverpool against Manchester City. It's first against second, the biggest game of the weekend between Liverpool, who've scored 15 goals, the highest in the Premier League, against Man City, who've conceded 1 goal, the lowest in the Premier League. What is going to happen here, Theo?
But conceded 2 on Tuesday night to PSG. Messi masterclass. The GOAT! For any of you asking. But Liverpool, they're playing Champions League nights too. They've both had a midweek fixture. And they smashed Porto. Absolutely hammered them. It was a Salah, Mane, Firmino masterclass. And Liverpool really have to make the most of these players because when Salah and Mane are off to the AFCON in January, they're going to miss them.
They certainly are. Trent Alexander-Arnold is injured. That is bad for him, for Liverpool, and for fantasy managers all over the country.
It is.
But Manchester City, what a win against Chelsea. Could that decide the title race?
Could it decide the title race?
Yes.
It's a big statement. I'm not sure. What I will say is both these teams, everybody's saying, the newcomers of Chelsea and United are going to go for the Prem. It really is looking like it's going to be Liverpool and City that run away with it again.
Shout out to Mo Salah, by the way. He's now got 100 Premier League goals. That is so marvellous. He is a fantastic player, isn't he, Theo?
Yeah, the last time these two teams faced, Man City won this at Anfield 4-1. City are favourites coming into this game. Do you back that?
They could do that, but I don't think they will. You know what I'm going to predict, don't you, in a game like this? A 1-1 draw.
And I agree. I'm so sorry. It's like, why bother clicking on this video? Because we both go for boring predictions. I'll tell you why. Because Scott Pollock has something up his sleeve. Let's go over to him.
So the biggest game this week, Liverpool versus Man City. Arguably the biggest game of the season as well. It's at Anfield. City always struggle at Anfield. Obviously, as strong as they are, I just can't see them winning this one. I think Liverpool, with the crowd, they're going to win 2-1. It's going to be a close game, but I'm going to go with a Mane late header. Calling it now. Mane late header, and they're going to win 2-1. Okay, so Thogden, Thogdad, that is my predictions for this week. Thanks again for having me on this. I'm enjoying the series, and hopefully I can get some points on the board again for the guests. I think my Spurs win might shock a few people, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, thanks again for having me. Take care, everyone. See you later.
That's more like it, Scott. You're actually gone for a result, ain't he?
That is brave, unlike us, but I tell you what.
No. Get him out of it.
I'm just going to sing a little song.
I just want 15,000 likes.
No,
And I want to end this video, guys. This guy's annoying me.
No,
I'm going to give him those £100 early from that bet, you know?
You and whose army?
Anyway, subscribe, and we'll see you all in a bit. I've got nothing else to say, but the Premier League is back. I like this shirt.
And I love this shirt.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Right, see you all in a bit. Bye, guys.